loans predatory. Okay, we send them up to the attorneys, and here's the deal. At the end of the day, the banks do not want to foreclose on homes. You know why? They get reimbursed anyway. So at the end of the day, what we want to do is show people how they can get their homes saved. We can save people's homes.
All right, stay there. Let's talk about your specific case beating them, though, because it's on record now. It's been in the LA Times. And then let's look at you beating the SEC. Nails is our guest. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5-Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
We now take you live
To the Central Texas Command Center.
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Well, you can check out his predatory lending recovery website. You can give him a call, 800-728-4981, or the website stopthegreedybanks.com. And the information on the site is what all the lawyers and experts that we've had on the show, Randy Kelton, who's a pro se litigant like Nails, are saying the same thing. And now they've gone from a few years ago saying, we're not robo-signing, we're not changing documents on you don't know about, we're not overcharging you fees, we're not giving you loans designed to fail. Now it's admitted they have. But I mean, Lenny, tell us about the court case with J.P. Morgan, how you've beaten them in court specifically, and some of the tricks that the big banks engage in.
Well, here it is, and it's really, really something that, again, I'm a normal guy, okay? I played baseball. By the grace of God, I was able to hit a ball where people weren't standing and make millions of dollars. That being said, I was able to carry that over and understand that once you're done playing, if you don't have a paycheck, if you don't have guaranteed recurring cash flow, then you're going to have a problem. That being said, I had a lot of success, sold some car washes, made some money, and Wayne Gretzky, who everyone knows, had a home for sale, a home that I watched him build, one of probably the most beautiful homes in the country. And so when I had an opportunity to buy this home, I wanted to buy this home at a certain price because, again, I put down the number. Here's the number I have available. Here's what I have to spend. Bank comes back and says, we can do it. We can get you this loan for this amount. This will be your payment. Okay, all good. Show up at escrow. They have a song and dance. They tell me how they can refi me into another loan. They give me half the amount of money. They say, but we have the other half lined up over here. You'll have to make one payment. We'll refi you in the same product. The bottom line is it doesn't matter how you get to it. It's set up from the beginning. They set you up to fail, okay? And again, you're talking about a guy that didn't believe in corporate crime. I never even thought there was such a thing. But not only do I now know there's such a thing, I lived through it, okay? These people tried to kill me. And when I say tried to kill me, J.P. Morgan literally got in bed with the trustee, and a trustee is somebody that handles a bankruptcy case, and that's another story, but got in bed with him and hired him as their lawyer in 300 new cases. Now, that trustee is no longer with us. I'm the first guy to make a trustee resign in 35 years. Okay, he didn't resign because he wanted a long vacation. He resigned because he broke the law, and I caught him. Okay, and J.P. Morgan's been caught too. Their own expert not only said my loan was predatory, it was unconscionable. Okay, so when you have a DTI, a debt to income of 150%, okay, that doesn't work. The bottom line is they set you up to fail. It's equity stripping. It's predatory lending. Anything that you want to define it as, these banks are just pushing paper around. Okay?
But you also got into the mirrors and how they're not even filing deeds and things now where it's on record. They've sold the derivatives to hundreds of different people. You go into the fees they charge you that they're, with a truth in lending statement, they're not supposed to. This is why they're losing in court.
Mirrors, there is no mirrors. Mirrors is done. Okay, that's a joke in and of itself. The issue now, and you're right on point there, Alex, the issue now is standing. Okay, the issue now is standing.
How do they come into court? How do they come into court and prove they own your loan and they don't have the deed?
That's exactly right. There has to be a trustee transfer. What they were doing was rubber stamping these things. Now, when you go back and you do not only a forensic audit, but you now do an audit that's a securitization audit, that shows everything, and they cannot prove that loan was legally transferred or bought by the other bank. That puts them in a position of no standing. Okay, and the banks now are losing in court, and they'll continue to lose because what I'm doing right now is, if you go on the internet and read about me, I'm like some villain. I'm like an axe murderer.
Oh yeah, they love to talk about when you were supposedly in trouble, but the fact that you're winning against J.P. Morgan in court, winning against the SEC, there's no news on that except for little footnotes.
The SEC, probably the most powerful government organization in the world, told me they were going to put me in jail. Okay, they said, no way you can be 100-some-and-0 picking these stocks. And I said, you want to investigate me? Go at it. They did. 10 months later, I have a letter, and it's a letter that I keep in front of me every day, and I look at it, and it says, Mr. Dykstra has done nothing wrong, okay, at the end, to sum it up. So, yes, they tried to take me down. This is all part of the banking system. They're all one group who tried to basically eliminate me off this planet, okay? And like I told them, I went into that courtroom and all these bankruptcy attorneys, because remember, let me make something clear. I filed a Chapter 11, Alex, reorganization, which Donald Trump's filed one 6 times. Many famous people have filed a Chapter 11. 2 weeks into my 11, I was converted illegally to a 7 because Fireman's Fund, the insurance company, illegally canceled my insurance. Okay? When they canceled my insurance, they violated the automatic stay. The automatic stay means that they they can't do nothing without permission from the court. So out of nowhere, here I am with $100 million in assets, spun into a Chapter 7, which I don't even know what a Chapter 7 is. I'm in an 11. I have a way to pay
a Chapter
back
7
my
lets them take control of you and do whatever they want.
And Bingo was his name, because they did try to take control of me. And what they did is, so far, they've billed me $1 million. I've paid them $1 million in fees, and my estate went backwards. They've tried to mow down and give away all my assets, except the one asset that would have got me out of bankruptcy, my car washes, where the owners are in default on foreclosing on my car wash buyers. They haven't went after them yet, because guess what happens? If they go after them, I'm out of bankruptcy. And guess what? They don't get their fees. So at the end of the day, the whole system's corrupt. I mean, look, when I go to war, if I go to war, at least I want to be on a fair battlefield. At least give me a gun and you have a gun, or a knife against a gun. I had a fly swatter, they had a shotgun. and that's the bottom line. And here's what happens. You walk through them doors, it's almost like they hand out sleeping pills or diet pills. It's, we're going to execute you pills, whatever. And like I told my attorney, about 5 of them I went through, I said, I'm not laying down and dying. I'm fighting, okay, because I'm right. And they're not going to take away everything that I've worked my whole life for because they think they can. They think I'm just going to be like the rest of them and die. So be careful. Be careful, because if you're not, I'll keep fighting and I'll find a way to win. And that's what I did, and I can help the American people win too. I can keep families together. I can keep kids being
yeah,
with their
that's
parents.
what your website covers, is how you have been successful and what you learned through trial and error, what you discovered. Let's go over the top 5, 6, 10, whatever different scams that big banks run that you've discovered, that you can hold their feet to the fire by pointing out they violated the law in court instead of just going in there and not knowing the judge and the trustee and others are all playing inside baseball. You've been through the gauntlet so people can learn by your experience as a frontline guy who went through this fire, came out even stronger on the other side. Give us some of the points that are covered at stopthegreedybanks.com.
Well, here's the points that are covered. I take a 1, 2, 3 basic step approach. I want everybody to know their life is not over when they get put in a position where they can't make a payment. The bottom line is these banks have a fiduciary duty to qualify you under TILA. It's a federal law. There's no arguing it. You can't. They can't argue it. They either did it right or they did it wrong. There's about 1,000 different things that have to happen. And if they didn't do that, then guess what? You have rights. You have legal remedies where you can go in under TILA, under RESPA, and you can recover money. Okay, and you can assert these defensive claims, okay? The bottom line is nobody has known how to do this. We have families out there right now decimated. The American country, this country was built on the American family, is now being dismantled piece by piece. It cost me a 23-year marriage. I was married 23 years, okay? Because of J.P. Morgan, because of the J.P. I'm not married now. Okay, I have a great wife, and she's a great mother.
And your son's in the major leagues.
And my son's, he's not in the major leagues yet, but he's playing for Milwaukee. He was a second-round draft pick, and
I saw a blurb that he was about to go into him. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, well, he will be, because he's a winning player. And at the end of the day, Alex, in my book, you're either a winning player or a losing player. Because the ones in the middle, you can throw out, okay? I don't play that. But here's what I can do. For all these people that are walking around waiting for the electric chair, because that's what's happening. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to turn. They do not know what to do, and they're afraid to ask. They won't even answer their phones. If they call my number on my website, we have the lawyers, we have the experts that can help them and save their homes. It's not too late. It's not too late. Trust me when I tell you.
Well, I'll say this. I've looked at your cases. I've looked at what you're doing, and it's right on from all the other top lawyers I know who are winning. I'm not getting lawyers on who haven't won. I've had a whole bunch of lawyers on who are in the USA Today, Wall Street Journal, winning, beating these major banks, and you're one of the trailblazers who's been able to do this and beating the SEC, stopthegreedybanks.com. And we'll put your website back up on screen so I can give folks the number, 800-728-4981, 800-728-4981 if folks want to find out more. But so much of what you did just informationally is there on the sites, your documents, what you went through.